Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It is I, the amazing Super Chris, one of your hosts for the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Thank you for joining me today. It's only Tuesday. Feels kind of like it should be further along in the week. I don't have a headache yet. Been headache free for a couple of days. Very excited. Oh, Jesse Bear posted some things about Ollie Dog. Ollie Dog is actually here. He's laying down over there. Here's the thing. We'll talk about Ollie Dog. I need you guys, Ollie Dog, it's importante. And we'll talk about it because we got something coming up and Ollie Dog may actually make an appearance, a physical appearance, possibly. We're not sure yet. I've got to talk to his agent and make sure we can get some traveling taken care of. But if we can make it happen, I'm trying to see if we can get Ollie to be a speaker at the Ark Encounter. I made it as a suggestion to Joe in Discord yesterday. I don't think he thought I was serious, but Ollie has more of a fandom than most of us do. So I just thought it'd be good for the protest to have him there. We'll talk more about that here in just a minute. I'm going to run my little atheism commercial and then we'll go do that thing. We'll be back in just a second.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you're possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
And there we are. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone. I found Darante and Rion. They were hiding in the back.
Ooh.
I was running into walls, just like an NPC, just waiting for someone to come get me.
Just like it. That's cool. That's awesome. Good morning, D. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
All right. Awesome. I'm going to start with you this morning and just kind of blame you real quick. We're just going to jump in. We're going to jump in because, here's the reason why we're jumping in, man. I got to tell you, to be honest, can I be honest and fair? We can be honest and fair with each other. Because if I don't do it right now, I'll forget later. That's why I want to do it. Okay, so we were talking about it briefly. As much as you care to share, let us know, man, how your new job is going and how everything's going in your world. I'm gonna put you Biggie on the screen so you can talk at us and tell how if you care to, let us know.
Yeah. I'll share a little bit. It went fairly well. It's a new day, just getting started. I am one of those people. I tend not to judge anything before it's time. So based off of the first day, it was pretty cool. People were nice. Finding a way to recalibrate my schedule with the new change, with the new time consumer, to get some things done. But I did get 2 scripts done for this week, so hopefully I'll be able to get them done. My next video is going to be on how church is just one big cosplay, where I will be comparing church to pretending, The Emperor's New Clothes, Comic-Con, and evolving fan fiction. And so we'll be walking through all of those layers and kind of having some fun. But yeah, everything is going great. Yesterday was the first day. Today will be the second day.
Day 2.
And then we shall see.
Yes, upward and onward. All right,
yes.
awesome.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've actually worked in
I'm
office.
sorry.
I've been remote. I've been a remote worker. That's hilarious.
Sorry. You're man.
I'm just like, I hope it don't hurt your show.
No. I thought you just drinking out of. I saw it. I thought you were drinking. It looked like a big drinking straw. You are.
I'm drinking.
And then the look on your face when you got Biggie on the screen. That's when I realized I had done wrong. I had done bad wrong.
I'm dying.
Oh, man.
Let's keep it out, Chris.
There we go. She likes sodas. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put us all on the screen again. Here we are.
Warning, get
I
ready.
should warn. There should be like a warning button some kind. It wouldn't be as much fun. So yeah, that's awesome. Now let me just go to Ryan and say, Ryan, you're on the screen. How's things going in your world?
You know, I wanted to tell you guys, you had asked me yesterday what I did on the weekend. So my husband and I have been watching Star Trek, and we saw the episode where they're trying to determine whether Data is like alive. Like, what does alive mean? I was crying. Oh my God, I was crying that episode. He's real. And the woman who eventually, like, I guess made the decision at the end, because she was like, he's not, he's not really alive. He can't feel these things. And then she was like, I'm not going to be the one enslaving people, enslaving all these people in perpetuity. So I really enjoyed it. I'm thoroughly enjoying this show.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. All right, I'm gonna put us all back on the screen. I'm so glad to hear that. That's one of the best episodes. That's one of a great Picard. I mean, Picard makes a wonderful argument for Data about how, hey man, this is not right. This is and there's a similar argument posted later on in Voyager, whenever the issue comes up with the holograms. There are hologram people that they create, like the doctors, and they, like the doctor in Voyager, he actually becomes sentient because he's on all the time. He's a program that runs all the time and becomes sentient. Then the question is, are we enslaving them?
Yeah.
So it's a really good arc that they've got going on there. Let me shout out to the chat. I hadn't done that. I just kind of slammed D this morning as soon as he got here.
Get up here.
And we have a new protest coming up. I really like to post that from Jesse Bear. Let me see if I can go here and find it here. If I can, I'll highlight it. I saw it a minute ago. Yeah. But it is important if you can. Oh, March 15th. There we go.
March 15th.
Thank
you for that.
We'll
Jesse
pin
Bear.
that. Thank you, Jesse. I'll pin that one there. Excellent. So we'll know, go do the thing. I think as things get further along into the circumstances, these marches will become more and more prominent. The protests, it's going to get, now the economy's fixing to crash. Not that we want to go all political on us, but the economy's crashing as predicted, right? And it ain't going to get no better. We're just going to wait. It's not good. Good morning, Jason. You know what? Again, I have just totally forgotten to shout out to the chat. So let me do my normal morning thing, if you don't mind. I put me Biggie on the screen.
Big him up.
After she waves, because it's always cool. She sent me pictures. All the effort is sending me pictures, and I never used them. I guess I do have evil plans of doom and despair, revenge porn.
I'm afraid to see what you might do with them, Chris. That's why I was hesitant to send them to you. I didn't forget.
There you go. No, I understand. That's fantastic. You're awesome. Well, wait till you see your head on Darante's body. Am
I gonna have a wiener?
Maybe. You need to ask Darante.
I guess it just depends on which head we're putting on the body,
Bad man. You bad man. Good morning, John Hudson. Hang it low. It's hanging low. It's hanging low. Good morning. Nice to have you. Trace, Zach Daniels. Good morning. Left-handed Jedi. Always wonderful. Nice to see you. Giles Muttley is here. Muttley. All you awesome people. Thank you for being here today. Raven Lunatic. Good morning. Raven is here. I see Raven. Miss Non Sequitur, thank you for I keep clicking the wrong thing. Jason Freer, good morning. Nice to have you with us. Awesome. She's not fooling me. I'm not falling for that shit again. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I'll catch you off guard one of these days. I hope you all are having a great week so far. We've been doing the thing. We've got a poll going on. It's a poll based on funny stuff about God. If God had a therapist, what would be his biggest admission? To the therapist. That's I think someone put us all Biggie on the screen. We can talk later about it here. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. So far, let's see the options I have. Let me share my screen for you guys. Here, can you hear me? There I am. Okay. Poll from the damn network. So, if God had a therapist, what would his biggest admission be? The options I gave were, I have a serious smiting addiction, and I don't know how to stop. I'm surprised I'm not getting more votes. Number 2, people don't worship me 24/7, and it really hurts my feelings. That too kind of is running low. I might have an extreme anger issues. Yeah, that seems...
Potato, potato.
Potato, exactly correct. And we got, 35 votes. Let me see. If
wow.
I know, right? People are 36 votes. There you go, people. Let's see. I'm going to sort this by. And I want to do a video on comments. I've started getting so many comments. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Do like a reaction video to your
to my own comments.
Just read through my own, like, especially when Christians are losing, like, going off the rocker. I just laugh and like tears, and people seem to love that for whatever reason.
Yes.
For some reason, one of them said here, in my posts, on one of these funny little things, and he's like, it was on the petty one. He's like, I don't know about being petty, but you're all going to burn in hell forever. You need to repent. I'm like, okay.
That's not petty at all.
Wow.
That's not petty at all. Let's see here. Chiba, I'm going to say Chiba, all of the above. I'm pretty sure if God was a human being, especially a man, given the way things are in society today, that he would be classified as a narcissist and maybe even a sociopath. You know, I mean, really, when the whole "you must worship me all the time or I'm gonna burn you," that in itself would, especially like on a dating app, that would be a red flag. Ryan, if you were on a dating app and you saw on there that the other person wanted you to worship them for eternity or they were going to burn you forever, would that give you pause?
Well, I mean, as long as I'm not into like S&M, I think that would give me pause.
Yeah, you know, okay. Maybe you're into that. Maybe you grew up in a cold
You might want to be bossed around.
Well, I would say worship is a word that gets tossed around in that community. Worship is a word that gets tossed around in that
Is
community.
it worship? What kind of worship?
Raven Lunatic said, ever since God transformed into a human form in his own son, Jesus, he's been suffering from dissociative identity disorder. That's a good one. That's probably not wrong. God, I am jealous of mortals. They can do all these cool things while I can't seem to find the energy to get out of bed and manifest. That's a good one, left-handed Jedi.
Manifest destiny, left-handed Jedi. You can do it.
Oh, man.
You can do
Toxic
it.
positivity. You better think happy thoughts.
Better think happy thought. Better Than Ember says, I may have an addiction to the scent of burnt offerings. Maybe. I might have addiction. All three says Wolf. Allie Breeze, sometimes I feel like I don't even exist. It's like I'm just a figment of people's imagination. I know I'm a real doc, but sometimes I wonder if I only exist as the concept in their mind, like we are all just living in a turtle's dream. That's a great one.
That's freaking hilarious, Allie Bree.
I like that.
God is the deadbeat dad that should have gone to therapy so his children wouldn't have to.
Right.
Hashtag
If he's a
truth.
deadbeat dad, he
that is
probably
so
owes
good.
us a lot in back child support.
A
He owes
lot.
us a lot of love and hugs.
Oh, yes.
A lot of some of us have been hugged too much by his efforts. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's an
Well, yeah, I mean, he
yeah,
I love
I know, right?
Parties, you know, I've heard.
Proof.
Hello.
Oh, man.
Good morning, Simone.
Let me see here. Oh, there's
Oh,
still.
the chats are finally showing back up.
There they are. It's my fault. It's my fault. I should just get a plug right here. My fault. My fault.
Yeah, you're not updated yet with that plugged in. You open a port and just click yourself in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, the deal is if I roll up, it freezes the chat for some reason. Simply Secular Dave said, good morning. Good morning, Simply Secular Dave. You should go subscribe to Dave if you're not subscribed. He's got a channel. He does stuff.
Wait, who? Simply Secular Dave?
Simply Secular Dave, yeah.
Simply
I don't know if
Secular.
I'm following or not. I will
Are
go.
you not? Let me go.
I want to see that reality show. Simply Secular Dave. That just seems like a really good reality show.
Yeah.
I subscribed to Dean this morning too as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I think I'm saying that right. Dane.
I think he
Dane?
messaged me.
Dane.
yesterday.
Dane.
Dark light.
Yeah.
Dane, put the puppy down, Dane.
Dane.
Yeah.
Dane. Yeah. Yeah.
My fault.
Yes, I see that. Yes, Miss Non Sequitur, I really should. The wife she probably already has one on the way now that we've seen your message. Good morning, Obi Atheist. Says, Chris, I have a friend that says he wants me to plug in, but I don't think he's talking about the same thing.
Oh.
Just be careful.
I can take that many ways.
Right. Depends on, hey, man, if you're into that sort of thing, it's all about consent, my friends.
Yes.
Simply Secular Steve would have been a good,
Yeah. I love alliteration, man. That.
Oh,
yeah,
Me too.
constants of it.
I'm a fan.
Yes.
And you know what? Oh, I probably should. I'm sorry. I just go off on a little tangent, but that just reminds me of like some of the fun things in the Bible. You know, I do enjoy reading the Bible for the stories because I don't think they're real, but there's a lot of hidden gems in the original language, like the alliteration or the idioms that we just read over, we gloss over because we have no idea. But some of these writers were truly, I don't know, they were remarkable for their time.
For their time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for their time.
Absolutely. Human storytelling is absolutely beautiful.
And we should enjoy the stories for that, not because they're true, because it's a cool story.
Absolutely.
Well, religion casts its net wide, and brilliant people throughout history have been caught in that net.
You're
and
right.
they express their brilliance in the name of that religion that caught their mind.
And God gets the glory for it.
He does. Yep. Left-handed Jedi says, Wile E. Coyote, super genius. Have brain, will travel. If you read the Bible like a soap opera,
drink. Absolutely. Like think of David, King David, up there like spying on Bathsheba, that freaking pervert, like the music in the background that you would hear, like if it was like the impending doom coming for Bathsheba.
Yeah, like an 80s Cinemax porn kind of thing.
Oh.
One of those softcore skin things. Didn't David and Bathsheba knock boots?
Oh my God, there has to be some kind of like fetish for that. I'm certain.
There.
Yeah, if there isn't, we've got a market. Father Flanagan's line of sexual health products.
I think
Moses coming down from the mountain with his fang hanging out.
Sheba, I love it.
I got two stones and one bat.
I don't know what happened yesterday. The wife did something, said something. I was like, you've been bad. If only you had a Father Flanagan self-flogging whip. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. That would keep me to having to do it my tennis elbow,
Oh,
man. What did you say, your tennis elbow? That ain't no joke.
Yeah. You know how it is. How us atheists got to keep them in line. Or wait, is that how that works?
Gotta keep them separated. Obi says, as you know, Rion, Cultastic, most of the stories are borrowed. Look at some of the ancient East. There's some great ones there. Yeah. I like when people say borrowed in quotes, because I don't go to my neighbor's house and borrow eggs by stealing their eggs. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean by borrowed?
And just to give people some anthropological insight on that, that's not just true of the Bible. All stories, period, are borrowed.
Everything's inspired.
Yep, everything.
Derivative.
There is no, everything. Like language itself is borrowed. You don't know language until you hear language. You don't know stories until you hear stories. I understand why we get concerned with that, but I hope we can at least remember that nuance. That no, it's all borrowed. It's all ours. We're all humanity. These are all our stories. And when you watch some of the stories we create today, these stories have the same themes as these ancient stories. And so it's all just our story. So I like to look at it that way.
I agree. There's not really too many things new under the sun. Everything is,
Yep,
we kind of
yep.
see something and then, you know, maybe even our natural world or something somebody else is doing and then not realize, but subconsciously we're taking that in and maybe like, oh, what if I did this? Not realizing you're being inspired by something you saw
Yes.
or heard,
Yes.
whatever. But you know,
Um,
the reason why I hone in on borrowed, what bothers me so much, is because to me, if you admit that you were inspired or borrowed, then I'm like,
Yes.
use the word borrowed. But when you say no, I came up with the idea, it's all original from me, from my God, that's when I'm like, nah, you stole. And I know it's not the
Yeah.
proper word,
Yeah.
but in my opinion, if you're not admitting,
Yeah.
you stole it.
Giving credit. Yeah. You
Give me
plagiarized.
credit or it's plagiarism, bitch.
yes. The damn
Yep.
dastardly Dave
right.
says,
That's right.
2 disciples, one carpenter's cup. It's in the Bible.
That is a story. That is a story.
There you go.
I don't want to see that. Somebody did that
right-
to me. They tricked me into
Showed you the
watching
video?
that. They tricked me into watching it. They were like, just watch it.
Did you
I
find
got
yourself
like a minute
aroused?
or two.
Oh my goodness.
No, but like a minute or two, and I was like, "What? Like, is
I
this
know, me
real? What's
too.
happening?"
What is happening? Why am I touching myself?
Oh man.
Raven Lunatic asks, damn network, is something happening with the damn channel? The page only shows a few videos and live streams and shorts. Or is it just me? I have hidden all the videos or almost all the videos on my channel to give the algo a little bit of a reboot. That's why some of you may not have gotten notified this morning whenever the show went live, just because anyway, so it's kind of a thing, and I'll turn them back on over time, and I'll just keep some of the older stuff hidden. Yeah, just kind of cleaning up my channel. I've done it before, and it helped, so we'll see.
Okay.
I like doing it.
I was wondering because I went to your channel. That's why I say that. I was like, something. I swear to God, there was a bunch of videos here. Am I crazy? Like, what happened? But that was. I'm so sorry. I was like, you should have some playlists up on your main.
I saw your message. At first, I was like, something's wrong with my channel, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I just got them all hidden. And then since I hid the video that it was the intro video. That's why whenever you get there's no intro video either. I didn't even realize that.
Right.
It's the one talking about what's his name? The master pastor, whenever he did his thing, and I was like, this Christian, you know. So I used to have that video as the intro, and it's not there. Good morning. But what I'll do is I'll just turn those back on, and over the next couple of days or so, and it'll help my algorithm out. Part of the deal is I can blame the algorithm all I want to. Let me go look back and see how many videos did I actually drop that followed all the rules. That I stopped, I scripted out, they were 12 to 15 minutes long, that had all the things. None. I haven't done none of that. I've dropped little videos, I've dropped 7-minute videos, 8-minute, you know, I've done other things, but none of the things that I say to do have I done. But I've also, there's also other things we got going on too. So
I've went back through old videos and like added descriptions and tags and hashtags and stuff. I think I have seen improvement on some, so it is, you know, it's a little bit tedious to do, but I guess it can help.
well, as I pull them back into the channel, I may even do that. Rename some of them, you know. Change
I've definitely tried the rename and the thumbnail, and I've seen improvement.
Yeah. So there's that. Damn, it's a good morning. Hi, Mr. Peabody. Nice to have you this morning. Mommy, I keep wanting to say hi to you, and I'm like, I don't say hi to you. No, I don't know why. I'm busy. Pseudo history is here. Caligula wrote the Bible. Sure, why not? I don't think so. I mean, I think if he had, it would be more organized. He may have, it'd be better organized. He was crazy, but he wasn't that kind of crazy.
I think when it comes to the Bible, the most appropriate way to say that is groups of people compiled it. To ever say that anybody wrote it is a grave misunderstanding of what it is. This is not a written work. This is a compiled work. The first part of it that we call the Old Testament is based on generations of oral history that are then patched together once they actually come out of exile. And then the second work, much of the second work is stuff that's discovered 3 and 4 centuries removed from any of the alleged incidents. And all of them are copies of the copies, with the most original and most complete being less than the size of a debit card.
Fractions.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Yes. They're talking about Caligula in the chat. I just want to mention, if you ever want to see, what is it, Malcolm McDowell's dinky as he marches in the rain, naked, go watch Caligula. It's a, it's a spectacle for the eyes.
That's funny.
Not a big
never seen
spectacle, but still.
Man.
I should. I've been trying to
Darante's
find
audio
something
is low. I
to
was
admit.
literally turning it up as you were speaking.
It was low yesterday too.
Yeah.
What?
And I had to turn it up. Hey, the system, if you go into your system settings on the audio, it may have turned you down. Mine occasionally does that.
Well, mine was doing that the one time. It kept sending it through the wrong speaker. Don't know why.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Red.
Small shoes, little boots. Yes. Skeptics and scoundrels. Good morning. It's more plausible Paul was an opportunist and fraud rather than crazy, but who knows?
Could be.
I don't.
Be.
Yeah.
He heard a good story and was like,
Could
what can I do
be.
with this?
It is.
Sure.
It is
I think that's
absolutely
more-
possible that Paul
Yeah,
didn't exist
Paul.
at all.
That's possible too.
Yeah. Well, I'm really entertained by the notion that Paul was just another what do you call him? You're turning you up. Speak at me there.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
hello
he's turning
there.
himself up. There you
There we go. Now that actually sounds better. Now I feel like you're in the room
Yeah.
with us.
go. Yes.
Right there in the ear.
Oh, now I'm hearing that bass.
Boom, boom.
Darante's dropping that bass this morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Did you
man.
switch back to your old microphone?
Somebody said
too,
Paul
or-
was Donald J. Trump.
No.
It switched over to the cam mic instead of the mic in front of me.
That's
It was
why it
coming
sounded
from
like
the
you were.
Logitech mic.
I see. Gotcha.
Yep.
I'm glad we got you hooked up. There we go. That's mucho better. I had to turn you back down. You're like, oh, too power, you're too strong. Miss Non Sequitur says Darante turns himself up.
Ew.
I do.
I
do.
really think Paul was just one of those guys like Joseph Smith or even a modern guy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Joel Osteen, or just some religious person who took his own branch, and now Christianity, the entirety of Christianity has become that.
Yeah.
It was so close to
Yeah.
the time. How long after Jesus did Paul do the thing?
Well,
What's the
after he
timeline?
died, a couple years allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to the Book of Acts, it's pretty much immediately afterwards. But history tells a much different story.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, it would. Of course, if his Acts would say that, but yeah, history does tell us what it was after. It was significantly after, and it was just
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
co-opting power. They were just co-opting religious power. I feel. Chris Atheist says that Chris, that was who Muhammad was as well.
Right, I think
same
they're all
thing.
Yeah.
street preachers. They're all crazy street preachers.
Yeah,
And they might have
Yep.
genuinely felt that they were helping people, like, hey, the end's coming. I got to warn people, the end's coming. Like Jesus thought he was doing. The end was imminent. Paul thought the world may be ending. He might have truly believed it. But the
Yep.
fact that people were still following these weird ass preachers.
true.
And
Well, that-
sophistry was such a big thing at the time, where even in Greco-Roman culture, that was just what people did. Went around talking about different philosophical ideas, and they would raise money for themselves. And it's just like these early people were like, let us jump in on this too, but let us tie it into this religious aspect, which was, very common. The early Christians were very Gnostic, and so you had a whole bunch of different competing ideas. But yeah, it's a very interesting. When you look at it, when you read it as a believer, and it's just like, oh, these people are doing something that no one else is doing. But then when you actually study the history, it's just like these people would not have been discernible from any other group that was active at that time, because all of these things were so freaking common. Like sophistry was a big deal, but it was cool. It was cool.
Good morning, Rob Savieri. Nice to have you. Infidel, good to see you there. I did notice Professor Pinkle. Thank you for joining us this morning. Professor Pinkle says, co-opting power doesn't work. Well, that's not the one. Well, that one too. But within a decade of Jesus' death, Paul was writing, but he was converted within 3 to 5 years after the crucifixion. Co-opting power doesn't work as an explanation. My chat move, sorry. Co-opting power. Where is it? Paul had more power persecuting Christians for Judeo-Roman authorities.
But that's only according to the Bible. That there's like no history of that though.
Oh,
So, like-
what was this? What was that? I'm sorry, I missed it. I was looking at Pickle.
He said, Paul had more power persecuting Christians for Judeo-Roman authorities, and I'm like, like,
I wondered.
Katie-
Was he a Pharisee? He claims to be a Pharisee.
right? Yeah, Paul makes a lot of claims, and honestly, like again, many of Paul's letters have been proven to be forgeries. So it's just like we don't even know which ones are Paul's claims or what are somebody else's claims.
How do we know that the letters that we think are Paul's are just some guy pretending to be Paul? Right. Maybe Paul was a real. I mean, there's just so many ifs.
And it's just as likely that Paul was, as described by several people in the chat, Sumami, John Hudson. Paul could have been just another David Koresh.
Yep.
Oh God, the Koresh.
Pickle Cam.
Yee, Pickle.
Pickle.
Hi, good morning, Pickle. Pickle is checking on the technical equipment to make sure everything is going there. She's a auxiliary part of the staff.
I told you to. If you didn't plug it in,
on-site technician. There she is.
And you were supposed to turn my sound up and fix the camera. And when I came in this morning, you hadn't done any of that. Oh, I'm sorry. You weren't supposed to hear this conversation.
No. Go ahead. Get after
I'm sorry.
You got to keep your team in check. She's listening, though. You got to keep her team in check. You know how it is.
Yeah.
She's
the
gorgeous.
boss.
What a cute puppy.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, we could just do dogs one day on the show. Have our dogs sit in the chairs and talk for us. Oh, that'd be fantastic.
How funny would that be? Put a little tie, little hat on her.
Mr. Peabody says, Dr. Robin Faith speculates that Paul did not exist. Good video on History Valley dropped a couple of days ago. I'd watch that one.
Wait, did she say Paul didn't exist? I thought she thinks Paul existed, but maybe I'm miss.
I know one of the most emerging ideas around it is that many of the New Testament characters are composite characters. One of the earliest is Mark, and that's one that I'm doing some research on now, or revisiting some research on now, because Mark was considered historical for years. Longer than even Peter and Paul themselves. Is considered one of the founding members of the earliest churches in Alexandria. But now they're starting to kind of revisit some of that, primarily because we're removing the kid gloves from looking at religious history. Many of the assumptions we've had about religious history was because we as a society had this idea that this needs to be respected and taken seriously, and we can trust them with it, And so it's just now that scholars are having the freedom to say, I don't know if we can trust the people who actually believe this to be true to give us the evidence of whether or not this is true. And so now that we're doing that, this is why historicity versus mythicism is becoming a big thing about Jesus, which people are losing their mind about, because like everybody knows Jesus is real. And it's like, well, no. We've never been safe enough to do the research. We've just had to believe the claims. Even when 10 different churches claimed to have his foreskin, we still had to be able to be like, yeah, no, that's possible. That's totally possible. All 10 have it. Yes. And so it's just like now that we're actually looking at these things historically and actually looking at these things objectively, we're realizing that many of the things that we have supported belief in have been absolutely unreasonable. So not saying that Jesus did not exist, not saying that Paul did not exist, not saying that Peter did not exist. What I am saying is we never had any reasonable reason to say that they did. That evidence has never been presented. And people are now just going back to look for it and realizing that like, oh no, like a big question about 30 years ago is like, okay, if the apostles were real, why don't we have a single body? Where are the graves? Where are these places at? Other than these churches who claim to have them, but then say that they're too holy to see. Again, going back to the dragon in my garage from, Michael Shermer, I think tells that story. One of them tells it. But yeah, it's so yeah, Christian history is going through upheaval right now.
There, a lot of the Bible characters in the New Testament, I think, are based off of the characters in the I don't want to say Old Testament, in the Septuagint.
Yes.
And other, Swana characters.
Yes.
Honestly, it seems to be Jesus as a type of Moses. Hello.
Yep.
And Moses was probably a type of something, et cetera, and so on and so forth. We have
I'm just looking
tons of reasons.
here.
Oh, no worries. We have tons of reasons for the historicity of Jesus, etc. Virtually all of the experts, including the atheists, agree. There's more evidence for Jesus than Pythagoras.
All right. Well, what I'll do for you, Professor Pinkel, is the first thing is just highlight that your first two sentences are complete fallacies, right? So your first sentence is, we have tons of reasons for the historicity of Jesus. Instead of saying that sentence, you could have just given one of those reasons if you have tons of them, right? The second thing is, you said virtually all of the experts. That is an appeal to authority. That is a logical fallacy. Again, instead of appealing to authority, if you had this tons of reasons, if you had this tons of evidence, you just say the evidence. And that's what you didn't do. But if you notice, what I just did is I just walked through all of the rational reasons why, number one, people claimed it to be true. And then number two, why people are realizing that actually we never had those reasons. You had a perfect opportunity to say, actually, here's one of those reasons we know it's true. And instead you committed three logical fallacies back to back to back, which would demonstrate that you wouldn't even be a person I'd be interested in talking to on the subject. If you're going to fly out the gate with fallacies, you got to come stronger than that.
It is though. It is an appeal to authority. I've done it at times. Because I'm still a newbie at this, and I'm like, there's a lot of scientists who say there's a lot, not realizing what I'm saying. But like Jill said, like, what experts I've read when I was first kind of coming out and researching, so many experts who still had this bias where they were looking for a specific answer instead of looking for the truth. And I would Michael Heiser, I think his name is, he's passed away last year, but he's brilliant. I love his stuff on the sons of God, the B'nai Elohim. It's like he gives you the answer and then at the end says, oh, this was all, a foreshadowing of Jesus or something. It's like he kind of gives you all the research and how it actually really does make sense, but then tells you why he doesn't think it adds up because of, Bango Jesus. So, you can find brilliance in those studies and papers.
Yes.
You just have to know, what's that Christian glass, people say that what they're looking at through Christian glasses. Anyway, sorry. Rampage.
Well, there's, I don't know myself on the issue of Paul and his thing. I still, I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Sure, he was real. According to ChatGPT, given all the evidence, thinks, given in its opinion, he was almost certainly a real person. That's just ChatGPT. My thinking is what message was before him? What message did he change? How did he get the message from Jesus? He got it through hallucinations or through his revealed messages, right? So to me, it all really does sound more like somebody trying to co-opt part of a religion. It sounds more like a Benny Hinn or Joel Osteen or one of these people than it does any kind of... I wouldn't argue that he wasn't real. I'm just saying he's certainly not the holy leader of the religion that Christians think he is. There you go.
Yeah.
And I'll let you all
I mean,
argue.
if you consider the letters of Paul evidence, I don't mind. If that's what you think is evidence and that works for you, then I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't.
Without going further here, just it says conclusion, in my opinion, it does highlight in bold even his own letters are undeniable evidence of his existence. Without going further, why ChatGPT would think these were his own letters is like Santa Claus says he's real, but I haven't obviously gotten into that discussion with, just imagine if we found Peter Parker's letters back to his Aunt May, does that make Peter Parker real? Somebody could have, does that mean Peter Parker is real? Yeah. I don't know. So, but there may be something about his, because I remember one time seeing they were doing some scientific analysis of the writing of some of them, and they were pretty sure that a lot of them could actually be contributed at least to the same person, if not Paul himself, but to the same person, those kinds of things.
But so they wouldn't have it. They wouldn't have any way of doing that though. Like that would be the problem. They would have to know Paul existed before they could attribute it to Paul. It's like, if you don't know Paul existed, how would you know that this is Paul writing it? Like, what do you know about Paul to be able to say this is his character, this is who this is? That was the problem with a lot of Christian historical research that got blended in, is that they never did the basics of the research to begin with.
Right. I don't mean that they meant that this is exactly Paul. I just meant that they took the consumption of his letters and compared them like in a computer to see what are the likelihood that they were written by the same person.
Gotcha.
Later, who was named Paul or whatever. No, I get what you're saying completely.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, but that's what I thought. And again, it doesn't mean that there was a real Paul. I just, without knowing more, I have to leave it at that. I have to go, okay, I move on. Otherwise. $10 from Raven Lunatic is like, shut up, Chris. We don't want to hear about Paul dancing.
Dang.
He says, the chat moveth, an idea for the channel introductory video, each of your puppies with a moving animated mouth talking on camera about their jobs and what the morning show is, getting ready to start the show with you. That's a great idea. And I don't need to do the animated on their mouths. All we got to do is give them a treat and they'll sit there and chew the treat.
That's right. That was he's doing Mr. Ed.
Yeah. And then Adam says we're all generative pre-trained transformers. There you go. Sure.
I'm not mad at that. I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I prefer the word generative over creative. I'm one of those people. So I like the idea that we are generators in a sense.
That's well put. Thank you for the super chat, guys. Appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Ryan says, I enjoyed learning about Dionysus. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Dithyrambs.
Yeah.
And, to me, how many people out there were educated by the Christian pearl clutching at the last Olympics who had no idea who Dionysus was or anything, but learned about it because of the Christian, right?
Oh, man.
They thought they were so special. Oh, that's the Last Supper. We're making fun of our Savior. And they were like, you've not heard of Dionysus, the fertility god of wine?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
You feel dumb now.
I think it's time now for our, we've got a Theocracy Watch for today.
It's time for me.
Yes.
It's time for our, so we're going to do Theocracy Watch. Actually, yeah, let's do Theocracy Watch. When we come back from Theocracy Watch, we'll see how people have voted and we'll give them a commercial. They can get whatever they want. Pharaoh's sombrero, the goats. We can do the Conspira win. We can do Altar Boys. Those are kind of short, but anyway, we'll do it. We'll after your little Theocracy Watch. Here we go.
My little thing.
Yes. Let's see. Real quick, it says Skeptics and Scoundrels for $2 says Paul was basically Hans Landa. Okay, yeah, it would. Huh. Interesting. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go with Theocracy Watch. I'm mashing the button.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the Dan Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
Good morning, fellow heathens. Today is Tuesday, and you're watching Theocracy Watch, where we keep a vigilant eye on the intersection of politics, religion, and public policy. In today's segment, we're delving into the God Bless the USA Bible from our last conversation, endorsed by Donald Trump, and the controversies surrounding it. The Bible incorporates the King James Version of the Old and New Testament, along with the U.S. founding documents such as the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Pledge of Allegiance. Notably, it excludes Amendments 11 through 27 of the U.S. Constitution, thereby omitting significant developments like the abolition of slavery, women's suffrage, and the establishment of the presidential term limits. Interesting. The standard edition is $59.99, while limited editions are available with Trump's signature for $1,000. Despite the criticism of China from Trump on trade practices, approximately 120,000 copies were printed in Hangzhou, China, at a cost less than $3 per book. We're surprised. We're shocked in awe. The Bible has faced backlash for blending religious texts with nationalist content. Some religious leaders are deeming it blasphemous and disgusting, while others are praising the book. Reviews have highlighted issues such as sticky pages, tightly packed text, and overall poor craftsmanship, with the possibility of it not even being real leather. So the God Bless the USA Bible exemplifies the complex interplay of religion, politics, and commerce. So I'm going to continue this series throughout the week. We're going to start tomorrow with Amendment 11, and we'll go through and just kind of educate ourselves throughout this week to see what it is Trump does not want us to know. So this has been your Theocracy Watch. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay blessed. Just kidding.
I have a question for you before we turn off the camera on you, the big camera. Do you know, have they asked why those amendments are missing from that Bible? Is there any
Are you
response?
asking, has anybody asked?
Have you noticed? Or did you need to see if anybody's? I'll look it up myself and see if there's been any reason.
People are asking, and like I said, some of the religious leaders are like, no, this is not wrong. I mean, no, this is not right. You should not be blending religion with, state bullshit. But like those other religious leaders were like, yes, this is exactly what we want. We don't want women having rights. So they see this as a prophecy, a vision for the future. So
absolutely.
Yeah, there are religious leaders who recognize it's trash, but there's going to be others that are co-signing it.
Yep.
Well, thank you for that. And one of the things that Darante has been saying is that it's part of this Christian will to impose Christianity upon the entire world. It doesn't end at any border.
Yeah.
It's, some people, it's more open and plain with Islam, that's kind of their goal.
Yep.
But Christianity too. They won't be, some of them don't see it that way. Not all of them obviously see it. I'm one of those, we were talking about our own logical fallacies earlier. It was coming up. I'm one of those that I do a lot of straw manning. And I need to learn more about it. My videos like, did you know, hey, Christians, or Christians do this. I need to hedge my bets and say some Christians do this more often.
That's what I was saying, Chris. I don't realize sometimes I do a everything thing or whatever. You know what, though? I have to say, sometimes that gets people in the seats.
It does.
Like I put up a video the other day and somebody didn't take all the context, like the description along with the pictures in the video. They just took exactly what I said and they commented something like, oh, you just proved my argument. I was like, actually, you didn't look at the context. So I got people in the seats just because, they didn't like what I had to say. They wanted to argue with me. So sometimes spelling something wrong, even though you might feel a little silly, it makes people want to come comment.
Well, it's like I had a video, God is useless, right? And there was one person out of everybody who commented, one person who said, you must define which God you're talking about when you say this, otherwise it loses all context. And while reading, and again, I can recognize a dumbass typically within the first sentence. You know what I'm saying? Because what I know that you didn't do, that you had to look over 4,500 comments of people who were able to determine which God it was by the context. You know what I'm saying? There were people who only watched 2 minutes and commented because they knew exactly which God. So ain't no way in the world I'm going to change what I'm doing to accommodate the one dumbass who didn't know over the 4,500 who watched the video in good faith and he knew immediately what I was talking about.
If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, keep it moving.
Yep, that's it.
Hey, I see that a lot in the chat. Or in the comments. Not in the chat, but in the comments. Of videos. I remember when I very first started the YouTube channel, a long time ago, one of my main concerns was how I was going to be able to deal emotionally with the comments when people called me out.
Oh,
and that
Lord
was a
Jesus.
concern. At first, it was a little rough at first. I would feel personally threatened, or they'd say something about a video, and but man, I got to say, I'm kind of like Darante now. I'm like, poor fella.
Yeah.
You do want to get
really,
a thick skin.
Mine really nowadays is it sounds even crazier when you say that. When you say it that way. That's one of my...
Chris, the best thing to say, especially if you know it's a dude, You sound really emotional about this.
Yes.
You're really emotional about this. I
Are you getting
understand this is
emotional?
taxing for you. Are you okay?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Really sting coming from a woman.
I'm telling you, because you know what kind of man there. I don't mean that, but you understand that is really what gets you.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It does. It does.
I'm a naughty little girl.
Oh, yeah, because they are very misogynist. Like that's like their number one. Their number one when they get really mad at me. You must be one of them homosexuals. Like that's where they go immediately.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is hilarious.
You got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
They do that here in the chat. They've done that in the chat. I'm like, is that a problem for you?
Right. Like,
Are you
Do I have to
scared?
come on mustache or what? What's wrong? I mean, or you? And I've said it so many.
in, Chris.
Right.
somebody asked me.
Beard ball. Beard ball.
Beard ball. So many people. I've actually made the comment, that I never say any of those things to offend Christians.
Yeah.
I say those things to offend homophobes. If they
Yes.
happen to be the same thing, that's not my problem. You need to look at your God and your beliefs.
Right?
If your beliefs turn you into a homophobe, then
Man.
especially considering Jesus was almost certainly.
Oh yeah, he's pretty. Yeah,
Gay.
he's playing with the ball sacks for sure.
He
for
definitely
sure.
was. He was probably a little bit of. He could jump. Let's just say
he was the
could
one
jump.
that said he's the one that said you couldn't put new sperm in old ball sacks. That was one of his sayings.
Is that a thing? Just sure.
Is that the sound of new sperm going into old ball
I
sacks?
don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Did all the lights did it get dark in here?
What's happening?
I think we just had a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. A new person. We'll see what kind of offended you are.
They're gonna run.
Yeah, they'll be able to
Ready to
post in like 30 seconds, and we'll know. They'll be like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is going on here?"
Unsubscribe.
Yeah,
Not interested.
Oh man.
that's true. Good morning, Dyslexia Jones. I always find it funny that homophobes talk about gay sex more than gay people.
They do. They really do.
It
You are
really is a thing.
fascinated with it.
Left-handed Jedi for $2 says Jesus was gay. Didn't he say, "Get behind me, Satan"?
He certainly did. He certainly
check
did.
out Six. That's right. Raw dog me.
Oh man.
Thank you.
This
for
is
that.
hilarious.
This ain't right. This ain't right.
I know. And they ask why we're going. I'm like, why is my channel shadow banned? I don't know why my
Because Darante keeps making ball sack jokes,
They're being unfair to us.
We've had mushroom stamps, tea bags, ball sacks. It just keeps getting worse.
I know. No, but it's not just
Here
that.
come-
It's that their holy mustache. Oh, wait, you just caught me off guard. Why did, when she said come, did I think mustache?
It's a
Master
cum
Maverick?
stash.
It maybe. Does it bother you that we're talking about that, Master Maverick?
Instead of a milk mustache.
Instead of a milk stash, it's a cum
Yeah.
stash.
There
That's
you go.
that's
Are
the
you
best
getting
way to start your morning.
There you go. Vitamin C.
Oh,
Good morning, Dave Green. Dave Green says, "I'm so offended, not the ball sack joke." I know, right? I know. You know what I used to say all the time? I was like, I used to say, help me spread my nutbaggery. My craziness is what I meant. And then I was rewatching a video, and it really did say, like, help me spread my nutbag. And ever since I heard that, I've tried to stop saying that because it's just not the message I'm trying to get out there.
they call it nutbag. Oh, nutbag. Nutbag city limits. Sorry.
New album by Fuzzy Nuts.
Oh, snap.
We'll be okay. Maybe.
I'm fucking crying for real.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I keep having to wipe my eyes, man.
Y'all should pay me for this shit. I'm just
Right? Oh, man.
That's fantastic. You guys are so much fun. Left-handed Jedi says Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek." Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Ba-da-ba-da-boom.
For $2. Was it turn or spread?
Spread.
Spread the other cheek. I think it was a mistranslation.
Oh, man.
What does the Greek say?
The Greeks were really into that sort of thing, so.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
The
And the
Greeks
younger the
probably
better,
had
oddly.
something going on like
Yeah.
that.
Probably did.
Oh my God, help us all.
So who have we not offended this morning? Just thought I'd ask.
Eric.
What we're gonna do? We're gonna run a goat-scented flesh candle.
I was just thinking about saving goats. Oh, man, that's beautiful.
What are you thinking about saving goats? How are you thinking about doing it? Masturbation.
Well, I was just
That's
thinking
how I
we're
do
doing so much sinning right now. Man, we got to save some goats.
We need to burn a goat. We do need to burn a goat. All the sinning we've got going on. Let's go
Burn a
get some
goat,
coffee
save
and
the
burn a
planet.
goat.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall snipe thee.
What do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
What you said, like Miss Rainbow Raft just
There
said,
you go.
I love this show. I love that.
Oh, thank you very much. You guys are wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, help spread the word. Help us spread the word. Share if you don't mind. If you can, share the channel. You know, we're a
did put a
nice,
link,
fun
you guys.
place. Yes, yes,
That
we're nice,
link
fun people.
Will auto tweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, if
Click
you're a
that link,
tweeter,
it'll automated tweet and it will have a link to this show. So you can just
That-
click it and say,
Oh, that is awesome.
there you go. If you're into tweeting, I don't actually have the tweet account place, but if you're
I
into
didn't think
tweeting,
so
that's
because I
fantastic.
looked for you. Because I was going to tag, but I couldn't. I was like, maybe
I
you don't have one.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. I bought a Tesla. I supported that cunt as much as I'm gonna support it. You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to trade my Tesla off for Acuras.
Ooh, Acuras. Do they have electrics yet?
They do, and their emblem looks like a Starfleet badge. It's very
Wow.
similar to
It is. It is.
Oh.
It is.
Cool.
Yeah, and they have electric. It's just the value of these cars has dropped so much, and I don't figure they're going to stop. But we're just not in a position right now to do that. But
I
because
completely
any car
understand.
we get, any car we swap it out for, we're going to have to pay.
Yep.
Paid off, you know.
Yep.
But the swastika car, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Swastika. There it is.
Yeah.
That's man.
I said,
Und wir haben zwei. Wir haben zwei. Und wir
Scheiße.
haben zwei. Ja, scheiße.
Don't we like have a car that's actually like pretty much a swastika car? Is that the Volkswagen? There's
oh, I mean, they
technically the
truly
bug,
they
yeah.
supported. Weren't they
Yeah.
one of the companies that supported the Third Reich?
yeah.
The Hitler actually built the Volkswagen. I mean, Volkswagen means the people's car.
The people's car. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Hitler, I think, was it Porsche? One of those factories. He started out. Actually, Hitler started it. Hitler started the Volkswagen.
The more you know,
Don't
right?
be mad at me and want to be fighting me and my rights. When you just go up against these big old corporate people who've never paid
Yes.
all that.
Come on, man.
I want reparations.
I'm telling you.
Companies like
Truth.
Bayer, all the companies who participated, they want
Yes.
reparations. And I don't know why, like, people want to be angry at me and you and
Come on.
whatever. Go after them.
Please.
They're the ones who
Yeah.
are still anti-Semitic because they're not paying me back.
I'm
They
telling
fixed
you.
in history.
You better try Jesus, not me, because I
Not
fight.
me.
Try my patience, you're gonna lose some teeth.
I'm telling you. I won't tell you to turn the other cheek. I'll turn that mother for you. You know what I'm saying?
Molly whopped that in.
Oh, man.
How to get, oh man, I would so love to get rid of my little swastika car. I even thought about advertising as a Tesla, complete with liberal tears. If you're out there and you're a conservative and you don't just want a Tesla, you want a Tesla that was sold because a liberal was pissed off about, and you go, why, I don't like Elon and he must come by mine. I'm only going to charge you $10,000 more than I would have to just sell it to, because market, right? You want the car with the liberal tears, it's going to cost you extra. Otherwise, I'm just going to take it to, what's that damn place called? Carvana. Let them come.
Carvana, yeah.
Carvana.
Yep.
Get you a steal.
True enough. Oh man, yeah. So I'm gotta.
I'm gonna sell tears.
Yes.
Get little glass vials, and then just cry into
There
it.
you go,
and-
Chris.
Oh man, like there's an audience for that. Christians buy holy water, they buy sand, they buy handkerchiefs. Like, oh my goodness.
I could call them devil tears, and they can use it to, like,
There you go.
I don't know, scare the devil away.
I liked it. Good morning, Carrie Ann Chrysler. Nice to have you with us.
Carrie, how are you?
She's loving on Ryan there. Ryan's the evil one's favorite now. I mean, I'm not even a favorite on the show anymore. Pastor Ryan says Master Maverick. At least, hey. I love the purple hearts. Bathwater is a hot commodity nowadays. I'm sorry to hear that, Adam. It could be. I mean, in the world we live in, you just never know whether those are serious.
Man.
Katie says, put tariffs on my Tesla. Well, yeah, see, that's not a bad idea. I just think.
Wait,
I just
tariffs
think
on the Tesla?
Yeah, but if I put the word tariffs on there, they won't buy it. If I put liberal tears owned by a publicly known liberal, some
Yes.
people know me, right? Some people know me.
Yeah,
can be
they'll do that.
Somebody's got to.
Chris cried in this car. Right?
Didn't they buy?
Yeah.
Didn't they buy like somebody's guitar just because it was a liberal at one time so they could destroy it? Like they bought a guitar at auction?
That would not surprise me. Weren't they buying a
Taylor
crap
Swift.
ton of Budweiser?
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
Budweiser they were buying? One of
Bud
the
Light.
beers they were buying just to go dump it because they were so mad at Budweiser.
Yes. Yes.
Like, you just bought all that beer and wasted it, and they...
Budweiser was celebrating that day. Like, man, profits went up. Like, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. The money they made those few days really kind of bolstered them through the weather trouble times.
Yes. And do you know how many Christians probably bought like entire 24 packs and then was on their way to throw them away, and they were like, you know what? You know what I mean? Let's just go ahead and drink these.
Let's go drink it. Yeah,
Let's say we did and didn't.
Yeah. I mean, they shot one of the 12 packs and kept the rest. I wouldn't surprise me at all. Man, our chat is lighting up this morning. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Darante, Ryan, because right now it's kind of a Band-Aid. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I have not created the intros that I need to replace the intros, but Ryan did add and enhance Durante's intro for a scripture with Durante.
Oh,
The
snap.
scripture every day. So if you're ready, I mean, she gave you a little more time and made it more gooder.
I like that.
Gooder.
I
That
like
was very
gooder.
sweet of her. So here we go with a scripture with Durante. Not 5 seconds, Durante. 7 seconds. Moving up the world, buddy. Here we go.
Let's
7
go.
seconds from now, you're on.
Gotta love it.
Right. Welcome back to Scripture of the Day, the segment where we dive into the Bible and ask, how did anyone read this and still call it divinely inspired? And today, God is out here giving his prophet a literal poop bread recipe. Let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and read this scripture real quick. Today's scripture is going to be coming from Ezekiel chapter 4, and we're going to read verses 12 through 15, which says, "Eat the food as you would a load of barley bread. Bake it in the sight of the people, using human excrement for fuel. Then the Lord said, in this way, the people of Israel will eat defiled food among the nations where I will drive them. But I said, not so, sovereign Lord. I have never defiled myself. From my youth until now, I've never eaten anything found dead or torn by wild animals or obviously cooked with poop. So no impure meat has ever entered my mouth. And damn, there's a joke there that I missed. But very well, he said, I will let you bake your bread over cow dung instead of human excrement. All right, so I wasn't ready for this one today, okay? God tells Ezekiel, I need you to act out a little demonstration to show Israel what's going to happen when they're in exile. So here's the plan. And by the way, God does this often. He did the same thing with Hosea. He tells him like, hey, I need you to go work out this little demonstration. You see that prophet out there who can't stop that hoe out there who can't stop sleeping with other people? I need you to go marry her. She's going to cheat on you a lot, but it's okay because I need you to show the people what it feels like to be me. God is doing one of those with Ezekiel, and he says, this is what I want you to do, and this is going to be great. Everybody's going to love this. I want you to bake your food, but I want you to use your poop as fuel. So, get your poop and then light it up and then cook your food over it. And mind you, this is in the Holy Bible. Listen, folks, this ain't divine wisdom. This is an episode of Survivor, Ancient Israel. You know what I'm saying? And Ezekiel... Yeah. Ezekiel, to his credit, he actually pushes back. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care how much I believed in God. The moment you ask me to start eating poop, I'm going to have some questions. And so he's like, Lord, I've never really defiled myself like that. He's acting like a new virgin on prom night. I've never done this before. He literally says, no unclean meat has ever been in my mouth before, which makes me wonder what all types of clean meat has been in his mouth before. But that's a whole nother conversation. And he pushes back. He says, Lord, I've never done that. And God actually compromises, which when you actually read through the Bible, God, he compromises quite a bit. And he says, you know what? You don't have to do human poop. Use cow poop instead. That's the divine concession. Like, no, my bad, Ezekiel, I was tripping, but okay, I'll meet you halfway. You can use animal turds instead. Let's just go there. That way you don't have to work on passing it yourself. Just go out there and scoop it out in the yard. You know what I'm saying? And let's just acknowledge how ridiculous this is. We're talking about the same God who supposedly split the Red Sea, turned water into wine, fed thousands with a few loaves and breads, but here he's fresh out of miracles, so it's time to make holy poop biscuits. And this is the same God who had all the strict food laws. No pork, no shellfish, don't eat anything unclean, but go ahead and bake your bread over burning feces is somehow fine. People say God is a provider, but I'm sorry, if your meal prep plan involves cow pies, I'm going to have to pass. So today's takeaway, next time someone tells you the Bible is full of spiritual nourishment, ask them, you mean like Ezekiel's poop baked bread? That's it for Scripture of today. Stay skeptical, stay informed, and remember, if your holy book includes a tutorial for divine dookie delicacies, maybe it's time to find a new cookbook. I'll holler at y'all.
Divine dookie delicacies. Alliteration, Darante.
There you go. There's a couple of things at play here I just want to mention. One is that it does say... Now, I want to say something here. It does say I'm going to split a hair and then I'm going to come back to it. Please remind me that I split it. It does say to use it for fuel.
Yes, fuel.
Now, that's one thing that it says. Then after that, from then on, they talk about it as though it's something they are thus consuming.
Yes.
And both God speaks of it as though it's something they're consuming and it's making them filthy and not something that they're just cooking over.
That's right. Yeah.
I even saw it in Game of Thrones. Don't in Game of Thrones they take reindeer poo and that's what they use to use for fire because there's no wood up there. Makes sense.
Astronauts do that as well.
Use their own poop.
They use their poop to actually grow food.
I thought, man, how they get reindeer up there? That explains the cost.
Now we understand the Santa story.
But here we also. Here we can also do a thing. What is food?
Ooh.
What is food? what is nutrition? It is fuel.
It is.
So whenever he says use it for fuel, he means for your body, not to burn alight. And that's why the guy is so upset. Not because he's telling them to use it for fuel, he's telling them to add it to the stew.
Oh, yeah.
See, whenever he says fuel, he's meaning fuel for your body, not fuel for the fire.
Oh, Lord.
But the handy thing about dried out poo is you can do both.
You know what?
It's
I choose to grind it up and then kind of sprinkle it.
There you go. Like a salt or a pepper.
That's.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I take that back?
No.
Someone's not going to get my sarcasm.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be on scat pages.
Yes. You know, one of the things, though, is that she's going to be on scat page. Her face and Darante's body on a scat page. I see it now.
Oh, my goodness.
And how can I see it now? Because I have a subscription.
I've already paid for it.
Oh, man.
The evil one don't look at the charges.
That's right. Well, at least we know what the arresting officer will be thinking. I mean, hopefully he's...
With the poopia.
Oh, man.
Simply sick.
Let me check my sources.
Praise Christ. You guys are fantastic, man.
This was hilarious.
Fill me up with
that
that
was
fuel,
amazing.
says
Thank you.
Raven.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that was
Poo-poo
a good one,
platter.
Darante. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Oh, it's,
Well, no, I don't know about. I think there are more than one opportunity.
yeah,
Let me
there's.
rephrase that. I was going to say opportunities to eat poo in the Bible, but let me rephrase that. I think there are more than one times in which it tells you to eat. He tells them to eat poo in the Bible. Let me ask, okay? Let me
Yeah.
ask, 'cause I don't really know. How many times does God tell his people to eat poo?
Dumb peep deity.
Yummy.
Only one notable instance where God, so you asked what related to food, that was Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Bake bread using human dung as fuel for the fire. Baking it in their sight on human dung. So it does say baking it on. So, I mean, it is a little more specific. But again, there's no reason why didn't say it could be both consumed, in the pot and under the pot.
That's right, yeah.
Causing the flame and in the flame. I'm just saying.
What was the scripture?
Ezekiel
Ezekiel 4, is that what that is?
4, 12, 13.
Yep.
God commands the prophet Ezekiel to bake bread using human dung as fuel for the fire.
And I know Paul uses the imagery of dung when talking about his righteousness. He says he counts all of his righteousness as dung. And I always thought that was weird. I was like, why do we need to do that? Why? But then God compares the righteousness of people to period rags, menstrual cloths. Most people remember the scripture as filthy rags, but that's just menstrual cloth. That's
what that means.
yeah. And God says all your
filthy
righteousness is
rags.
just as filthy rags. That's where those he's talking about menstruation cloths.
That kind of filthy rag. Because
Yes.
God loves all kind of blood, but not
Except-
that kind of
Yep.
blood. Wow. Ooh, I wonder if you could put that kind of blood around your door and all that around your walls. Keep the evil God monster
Keep
out.
God away, man. That makes sense. That's how you keep God away. Oh,
And that's why he
snap.
doesn't like women. That's why they don't like women.
Oh,
A woman
they're
is
his
like a
kryptonite.
natural God. Yes, they're
It's
like
his
a natural
kryptonite.
God repellent.
I love it.
I think we come up with something. I just had a stroke of genius.
Oh, yes. I like genius of stroking.
It smells like pretzels. Anyway,
Oh,
I'll be
man.
okay. Let's see here. Austin Sims, all you wonderful people. Grazing animals have high fiber content in their excrement, making it perfect for many practical applications. It was included in pottery before firing too. I mean, there you go.
Everybody knows that the turd is the word. I said a turd, a turd, a turd.
The turd is the word. The turd.
Oh man.
Geniuses stroke smarter, not harder.
Not harder. Oh, that is so true.
True.
I can speak to that. I can speak to them.
Often.
Harder is not better.
Funny. What sort of idiotic deity would put the septic line right in the middle of the entertainment district?
I'm saying.
I get that. I get it.
Why is the trash compactor right next to the baby making machine?
You know, there you go.
Oh man.
That's sort of like why is the tube that the orifice that we take food down also the orifice in which we eat and breathe.
Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang.
How many people die every year of choking? That is not a perfect creation.
Like that is odd.
Lungfish.
Right?
Lungfish, it's their fault. Father Flanagan's got away. Spray the god away with a minty fresh. It's a minty fresh. It smells minty, but it'd be like a red mist. It'd be a red mist.
Oh man.
Father Flanagan's got away. Thank you for the left-handed Jedi. You know, Satan compels me. Satan's compelling me. Yes, I know, to write that one down. Got a list of commercials. Well, one of the things is we've got Father Flanagan's laboratory. He's hard at work on new products, but we've also got something else going in the works as well. So, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, especially me, because the evil one would beat me like a dirty rug. But we've got some things coming that you guys, I believe you will approve. So, let me just make that note. Come on, Google Keep. Where are you? Damn it.
I want to blow.
Well, says purple rhymes with orange. If we are the pinnacle of God's design, why can a frog or salamander regenerate a lost leg, but I can't regrow my truncated fingers?
That would be so nice, man.
Or teeth, man. A lot of people die because of poor dental hygiene and losing their teeth.
Yes.
Just having our teeth around, just to regenerate.
Oh, that would be so awesome, man.
Right? Maybe people
Father
wouldn't brush their
Flanagan's
teeth
got
because they'd be lazy.
Maybe.
I don't know. Sorry. Anyway.
Menstrual blood spray.
I just have conversations.
That's okay. That's okay. You guys talk amongst yourself while I'm stealing his menstrual.
Stealing.
I gotta write this down.
And now it's one of those things where your mouse stops moving. I'm like, mouse, move.
Oh, move. Damn you.
Move, damn thing.
Oh, man.
Ryan Cultastic says, I want a blowhole.
Yes.
That would be so fun.
I heard that differently.
But then when you apply reason to it, that means somebody doesn't have to come up for air.
Right? Hey.
Just make sure to keep your hand off the top of their head.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Google.
I'm imagining that as a Family Guy skit, like right now. I can see it with Ricky Gervais playing the dolphin. Like, yikes.
Oh my God. He cracks me up.
Yes, he's hilarious. And he does play the dolphin on Family Guy when they have him on there. It's
I didn't know that was. Okay, I didn't realize.
Yes. Oh, man.
I like me some Ricky Gervais. Look at the trees, Father Flanagan's menstrual fluid mouthwash. Yeah, no,
Well.
You need to keep your fetishes to yourself.
Did I say that out loud? I typed that.
Yeah. I can just see Trees sitting there typing it with one hand. I'm playing against
mashing the keyboard.
Man. Yikes.
Tsunami says Trees. Get him. Chris, we went from poop to holes. We were just minutes away from creating on OnlyFans channel. Hashtag You're a little late to the game. We already have our OnlyFans channel. It did, didn't it? It's the smell, I think.
Took a left. Or maybe we should say took a right.
Yes. Let's see here. To the right, to the right, to the right. It's like eating pizza.
I actually hated that song.
I
hate songs that tell me what to do. Don't freaking tell me what to do.
Now walking by yourself now.
No, I'm going to walk it with somebody else now that you said it that way.
That's right.
I'm doing it with a room full of people, idiot.
I ain't putting a ring on shit.
I love it. Yes. Oh, man.
Yeah. I just gotta be real about it, you know. Sue Denham says, if a book can't prove itself, how do you get baited into arguing the stories? A lack of mental effort.
Yeah, man, what you say? Yes. Yes.
I'm going to play us a little Pharaoh commercial here, and we're gonna go get coffee, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll go do the rest of this voodoo together. Sound
Yay.
awesome sauce. Let's go pee.
Yeah.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
And we are back. Yes, yes.
Yay.
So there's the song. People love that song. Penile Plague. I'll tell you how much I was giggling when I was writing that.
I have a feeling you were. I believe you. Because I giggle at myself and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
And I've got other things I'm working on now. Openly, everybody knows that I've got the Father Flanagan's line of Pharaoh Sombrero commercial coming soon. And that one is, I can't, it was good shit. You just wait. I'm excited about it. I sit here yesterday writing on, there's two of them actually. It's Father Flanagan's Pharaoh Sombreros is for most people. And then there's also a new Catholic approved condom called the Father Flanagan's line of Heavenly Halos. It lets blocks the sin, lets the babies in, kind of thing.
Ooh.
I'm working on a commercial. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it here, but yes. So I giggled my ass off yesterday while my brain was juicy on it. Yeah. And I've just got a lot going on. I'm looking forward to making. Like I said, I've got some cool stuff coming soon. So, let's see. Raven, Dave's not here, man. Professor Pinkle. From Darante, Lamar, heard your song on the piano. Not bad, bro. Yeah.
I do all right.
He shows off, makes the rest of us look bad, kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, are you trying to show off, Darante? Because I can't carry a tune, damn it.
Oh, man.
And all I've got that even come close is the pole dancing, and you really can't see that.
I dance on my pole too.
What do they call it? What the break dancing where they pole? Remember back in the day when they
That's right. I do the worm, and then I do this thing where I stand up on my pole and spin around. Nice.
Wowzy.
Good morning, skeptic and scandals. Wow, it's getting awkward in here today a little bit sometimes. That's cool though. We were talking about what were we talking about earlier that was funny?
So many things.
Yeah, anal stuff probably had to do with butt stuff, I think. God and butt stuff. I don't know why.
Oh,
why
man.
did that come to mind?
Well, we're talking about poo bread, so.
Poo bread.
That's right. There we go, poo bread. So, yes, that's what kind of led me to the thing. I wanted to ask the question here. I asked another question. Several times dung is used. Ezekiel, animal dung is burned, but the remains of sacrificial offerings. Wow, did that get somebody killed?
Yeah.
I bet God did not like that. I wish he'd elaborate more. Malachi 2:3, God threatens to spread dung on the priest's face as a sign of judgment.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
yikes.
As literal or as a symbol of worthiness or worthlessness or contempt. Paul considers everything in life as dung compared to following Christ. Paul had never been skating or had sexy time. First Kings, God warns that those who forsake him will be treated like dung. Burned and eaten.
Yeah, that's dang, that's.
I know. Let's see. Conclusion. Dung appears around 30 times, then maybe in 3 contexts: literal waste, judgment, and destruction. The third one, judgment, 2 Kings, Jezebel's remains will become as dung upon the face of the field.
Oh, so fertilizer?
I was wondering.
Big deal, bro.
Somebody made a comment about, have you noticed that God's resolution to his way to resolve any problem is horrific. It's violent. It's always never sit down and work it out, talk about it, figure out the reasonable intellectual solution. It's always murder, death, kill, or.
Yep.
And I never really thought about it. Isn't there some place in the Bible where God goes, just chill out?
I know there's conversations between. There's one conversation that I remember between Moses and Abraham where Abraham's actually like kind of getting God to think about himself. Like, if you can find, this many righteous people, this many righteous people, and God's like, okay, I won't. And then he whittles them down to like 10 or something like that. But yet God pulls the Daenerys Targaryen thing and
F them bells.
Says like, okay, if there's some righteous people in here, I'm going to chill. And then he's like, oh, you mother. And then he's, he feels that burn in his throat and he starts to sniff. He thinks he's smelling the flesh and he's like, puts the whole city down.
Oh,
and I do believe there's another one where it's vice versa, but I can't remember who was it, Abraham or maybe Moses, where he says like, yeah, maybe you should chill.
Man.
I do think it's one of the patriarchs.
Yeah, I remember the one where he goes in there and he talks him down from tries to talk. Well, actually does talk him down, and God comes all the way down. But apparently they couldn't find 10 worthy people.
But that's a lie.
But it never says they even tried.
Man, nah.
It's like, how about 10? All right, 10. And then like, okay. And then he killed everybody. And then for $5, Left-Handed Jedi gave us a super chat. Said, guess what Thor has that the Bible does not have? A day of the week named after them.
Thor's Day.
Important. Thor's Day. Yes, a couple days from now. Very excited about Thor's Day because it won't be Tuesday anymore. $5 super chat, Left-Handed John. I appreciate it. Yes. And we don't have frost giants, but we still have evil. So that tells you a lot about who's the more powerful God.
Yes.
What would Jesus' day of the week be?
That was a good question. Sunday. of the sun, the day of the sun.
They'd co-opt it. That's probably what their answer would be. No, he does have a day. It's Sunday. You know,
I bet you they already. You're right. I bet you they do think that. Well, they do think that because they changed the
Sabbath.
They had their new god, so they changed the Sabbath. That's why I think Jesus is a god, because they changed the holy day to his day instead of Yahweh's day. So
Skeptics and Scoundrels says Odin did his job and effed right off. That's the God I appreciate.
That's it. That's right. Yes. Yeah, man. My goodness.
Peabody says Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I dig it.
My goodness.
Hammers. We do have hammers. But they have crosses.
I did ask.
You asked what? What did you ask? Oh, Mr.
No, I asked for it, basically.
Okay. Sumami says Odin still sends those with the requisite warrior spirit, the ravens and crows sometimes. I love ravens and crows. I think they're awesome birds. Yeah.
I love a murder.
Who doesn't though, right?
Right.
Yeah. Dunning-Kruger is two people.
That is true.
That's technically true. It's also a way of life.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Master.
Is that where you think you know too much, or is it the more you know, the less you know? Which one is that?
It's both.
Thing.
It's a spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome. You either treat yourself like you don't know enough, or you treat yourself like you know way more than you know.
Oh, that's me. I don't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The more I know, the more I realize I don't know shit, and then I think I get a little paranoid.
Well, see, and the thing is, that's the thin line of intelligence. I always tell people intelligence is not knowing what you know, it's knowing what you don't know.
Yeah.
That's the true mark of intelligence, is the humility of knowing that there's things you don't know and the curiosity to try to learn those things. It's the people who think that they know everything, i.e. sometimes believers, who are the ones who cut themselves off from learning anything new, which is unfortunately antithetical to intelligence. Intelligence thrives on curiosity, and curiosity thrives on ignorance, knowing what I don't know. If I already think I know everything, then I'll have no curiosity about the subject and won't even try to learn. I'll spend most of my time trying to convince other people that I'm right and they're wrong.
Yeah. Big difference.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my tagline. I'm just going to say, stay curious.
Yes, I love that.
I'm stealing that. It's probably somebody else's already, but.
Why not, right? That's okay. Good morning, Daryl. Daryl says, the less you know, the greater your ego. Albert Einstein, wouldn't surprise. That'd be a good quote. Yeah.
Yes.
Very true. You've got these people sometimes. Now, I just want to make not that I disagree with anything anybody said, but there is a distinct difference between imposter syndrome and Dunning-Kruger, although they can be related, right?
Yeah.
But the Dunning-Kruger is really it's like where the less you know about something, the more confident you are in what you know about it. And then the more you realize, the more you learn about it, the more you realize, the less you know about it. And then as you go along. So that is one thing. I realize, oh shit, I don't know what I used to know. Now, Dunning-Kruger, or the imposter syndrome, is the same. It's related, or can be related. I love it that you mentioned that. But that's essentially where you don't feel like you've earned where you are.
Yeah. That's one half of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you may feel like you're a nurse or you're a doctor, and you're among other nurses and doctors, and you're feeling like you're an imposter because you maybe didn't go to as good a school or as many schools or spend as long years. That's kind of really more of what now again, they can be related.
Well, yeah, imposter syndrome is a spectrum. It doesn't just speak to that one side. You're an imposter if you feel like you know. You're an imposter if you feel like even if you know you're not qualified, that's being an imposter. But you're also an imposter if you know you haven't done the work and you still feel like you're qualified. So you have someone who's done it.
There's some things. Well, we see these people come in here and they display their Dunning-Kruger all the time.
Yes.
They think they know something about something, and they really, really don't.
Oh, man.
And you would think the more they learn about it, though, the more they would. But no, that's not always the case. But then, because sometimes you can't teach people. You can't pour water in a glass that's already full, you know?
That's right. Yeah.
If you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yep.
True. Because you can give them all the proof that they need, like every scripture, do,
Yep.
and they'll just still have a reason as to why, if he said that, it's not what he meant, or
Yep.
you know, something
And
to
you
that
know
extent.
that, and it's just the reverse too. They give us all the scriptures we need. We just not willing to accept it and open our eyes to it. It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, what we on my side, I'm like, well, I see reason and logic, and I apply these things, and that's why yours doesn't work. And they're like, well, you're using reason and logic, and that's why this thing that's supposed to be built on faith doesn't work. And we're both trying, you know, for some of us, or even. For $5, Raven Lunatic said, "Did you hear about the noodle? It was suffering from imposter syndrome."
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, I've been a jack of all trades all my life, so I kind of get the whole imposter syndrome, where I'm doing this job and I've been doing this job and I'm working among other people who've been doing it for years, and I'm doing what they're doing and equal with them, getting paid as much as them, and yet I haven't been doing it as long. I don't have the education. And then I go to another job and I do something else, and it's the same thing. I work my way up, and before long, and you know, so me and imposter syndrome go way back.
Yeah.
Me and Dunning-Kruger, the difference is with Dunning-Kruger, you don't know. You may not know that you don't know. Dunning-Kruger's a lot about what you don't know. With imposter syndrome, it's all emotional in you. You feel like an imposter. It's a syndrome where you feel. But with Dunning-Kruger, these jackasses come in, they think they know stuff, and they don't. And that's the deal. A lot of times they don't know that they're suffering from Dunning-Kruger. They're completely oblivious. They're just idiots. But both apparently are fun. Oh, man. Hey, you know what we did? I'm going to talk about this briefly. We started this again. I don't know if either one of you guys have seen it. Oh, wait. I want to ask Ryan about her Star Trek thing in just a second. We restarted rewatching Foundation. And, man, it's good.
I remember when that
really
came out.
Show.
Yeah.
If you're a sci-fi person, then if you're into it. It just hit my brain real quick, and I was like, "Oh, Foundation! I want to talk about it." And I realized nobody here gives a shit about Foundation. No, I mean, nobody cares as far as you guys. You're not neither one of you are sci-fi people, so a few people out there. But I think it's visually stunning. The acting is really good. The first episode is really good. I read some of the books. I'm not so attached to them that I don't enjoy the new show. That's great. It's really fun. And but then I realized like there's the group of people that don't really care. So I was like, oh yeah, let's stop.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, there are people in the chat. What network is Foundation on? It's on Apple. Apple's the one making it. They've got 2 seasons out already, and they're working on a third. Each season is 10 episodes long. They're about a full hour each. And go watch the first one and see if you're not captivated. It's good stuff. You can find there's a tvseries.net is where I watch stuff like that.
Oh,
you can pay them like $10 and you get hundreds of points, and watch a movie is like 5 points. So it's really cheap to watch all kinds of stuff over there.
And the Righteous Gemstones just went into season 4 this week too. I got to catch their news. Oh, it's a Danny McBride show where they're basically.
Who is that?
Oh snap! Danny McBride. Let me think of some movies that he's been in. He's a comedic actor. But it's him, John Goodman. I cannot remember the younger guy's name, but he's popular too. They play a megachurch family.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, really?
And it is hilarious. And as a person who comes from the megachurch scene, it is eerily accurate. It is one of the most accurate portrayals of a megachurch family. The only thing I don't like is the way they do music in the megachurches. I'm like, y'all haven't been to a megachurch in a while then. But other than that, everything else was like really on point, and not even just in just the funny way, but even in some of the internal family dynamics. Like the father really is trying to do his best. He really does believe this, but he really is caught up in the hype of the family success and all that stuff too. It's hilarious, man. It's good stuff.
I know him from
Adam Devine. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we got lots of people in the chat going, "Hey, is it on Hulu or Netflix, or do you know?"
I know it's HBO Max, which means you should be able to get it through Hulu.
And it's called Gemstones.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous.
It is amazing.
Yeah, so I don't know how to spell Jim Righteous, apparently. The Righteous Gemstones. It's on the tvseries.net, and they have 4 seasons of it there.
John Goodman does an impressive job as the megachurch pastor.
I've never heard of this. It's hard to imagine there so much of this could get by. Raven Lunatic says, did you hear about Nancy from the Freddy movie? She suffered from the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, she had a nightmare.
Oh, man.
It was an
Thank you,
ongoing,
Raven.
everlasting, yes. Thank you, Raven. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, that's a good one. Wow. So I've got the whole how to get rid of my Tesla app, a page up. I wonder if there's going to be an app on that. Let's see. My thing is blowing up here. Sith Lord, I added it to my list. Yeah, me too, Sith Lord. Me too. Let's see here.
I expect y'all to put them in a channel somewhere, so I don't have to write this down. Just...
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Discord me. Discord.
I'm lazy. I'll forget.
Later had my autism diagnosis confirmed by a psychologist. Okay. Purple. Hi, Purple. How are you doing? I guess you just answered that. Interesting. Hi, Purple. Hope everything's going good. Professor Pinkle is being professor. I don't know. Probability is a specialty math, especially math concept. And now I'm just going to assume you're a professor at a gas station.
That would be a good assumption, Sapphic Hazard. Safe assumption there.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I know, right? I don't know enough about the conversation to know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think about Jesus, whether he was a historical person or not. I think that's what their discussion was about.
Yeah. Well, Master Maverick here says at Quasar, the problem with a genius is that to a fool, he looks like a wacky man.
I don't think that would be the genius's problem. I think that would be the fool's problem.
Well, yeah. See, that's kind of. But the deal is that just because somebody looks like a fool doesn't make them a secret genius. Sometimes a fool is just a fool.
It's just a fool. That is
and
true.
if you've been exposed to the truth of the fact that science is better than religion, and yet you still believe it, then you are the fool.
You are the fool.
You are the fool. You are the children.
Oh, man.
Jesus fornicating Christ. That's his messenger.
I love that.
Man.
Jesus fornicating. I have to. That might be in my repertoire now. Thank you.
Master Maverick and is the other one here? Are they both here?
It's just Maverick and Pinkle. It's funny because Maverick and Pinkle seem to come in a lot at the same times. I see their names coupled together. It's very interesting.
What if they're holding hands?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Kissing.
Oh, man.
I wonder, after they kiss, do their mustaches rip like Velcro?
Oh, well, see, I went back to the Comstashes. That's where I went back to. We were there.
You know how it is. They hate the homophobic
together.
folks.
Oh God, help us.
You know, I recently got a Bible. I didn't even think to buy it. There's no way in hell I'm buying a Trump Bible because that would directly support. That is crazy, though. Now that I'm thinking about that again, for those of you who are just showing up and didn't know, Donald Trump's Bible is missing a whole bunch of the amendments to the Constitution. You know, the ones that talk about slavery and
women's rights
and
yes,
all that business. They're getting rid of it. Can you believe it? Who out there can believe it? You can believe it. I believe it. It just boggles my mind. There we go. That's a nice hat.
And they chose the King James Bible, which I think is interesting. Wasn't King James like number one of POS? Wasn't he also homosexual or something like that?
He was a homosexual.
Nothing wrong in my opinion, but I thought that was like antithetical to your belief system.
But see, a major part of Christianity's belief system is that God can use anybody. And God often takes the most flawed, horrible people and uses them. That's why so many Christians can overlook everything Trump does, because they overlook David murdering somebody to sleep with his wife. They, you know, they overlook Solomon having 700 wives and over 400 concubines. They have to overlook Abraham being willing to sacrifice his son to please his God. So like that, they very much, you know, if the closer they are to believing this as a way of life and that their afterlife is dependent on their adherence to this, the more they're willing to excuse. And again, it's like the emperor's new clothes. I see that this is wrong, but I don't want to be the person who says something because I don't want to get in trouble. And so I will pretend that this is right as well, because they must know more than me. They're saying the emperor has clothes on. Surely he has clothes on and I just can't see it. And again, that kind of goes back to that imposter syndrome. I don't know enough to be able to tell that I can't see that there's no fucking clothes there, you know.
Ooh.
But oddly, the ignorant will step up and speak immediately.
Oh, yes.
And boldly. Though, you know, real quick, I noticed that there is, let me put the name here in the chat. P. Mars versus atheism. Hello and welcome to the show. I want to make a note, and I want to point out that whenever I go into the channel's community section and I look into who's been banned from the channel, there are a great many names in there that all start with P. Mars.
Wow.
And this is from back in the 2015 show. Because, I mean, how many times have I haven't seen P. Mars during the show this time, maybe once or something, but you know, it just tells me it's a repeat offender.
Yep.
You know, just clearly been around, but yeah. I appreciate Darante's. Yeah. Well, I got to make sure I'm doing shit right though, because the chat moves fast. And
it does.
Let's go. Oh no! Wow, somebody must have. No, did you beat me to it? Somebody beat me to it.
They did.
They said that they are a Christian who basically uses logic to humiliate and make fun of atheists. I'm afraid, you guys, I might leave.
Are you
I don't want to be humiliated.
And again, because that's what they do. They're not calling a debate show. They're not calling a place that says, "Hey, call us and debate us, prove us wrong." They're calling a show that's not even talking about that. That's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The word atheist just angers them so much they gotta insert themselves.
Yep.
Right. And they're like, we could probably go look at this person's destruction of other atheists or whatever. And there's almost certainly no destruction there. It's like this skinny little wimpy little person, no offense to any skinny little wimpy, walking up to the Rock and going, "Stop, you're bad,
Yep.
take that. That's what we would see. And then the Rock goes boom and the person collapses. And then the skinny little person would get up and go, "I defeated the Rock. Did you see me defeat the Rock? I defeated the Rock." That's what they do every freaking time.
Every time.
Got a smackdown.
Yep.
They're morons, you know. Let's see. I did your wish is my command. Thank you, Miss Non Sequitur.
Yes, thank you, Miss Non Sequitur.
Yeah,
yes.
We talked about his messenger and his ability to not really kind of focus on what was going on in the show, and he just narrowly missed it yesterday. They're giving him a 20-second or 2-minute ban or whatever saved his hide.
Man.
Have you ever heard the expression, "my largesse is dissipated"? Yeah, I'm just kind of, in other words, I'm tired of screwing with them.
Is it? No, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't owe their ignorance anything. I do not owe your ignorance attention. That's not something that I have to give you. If you're here and you are unwelcome in my space, I have every right in the world to kick your ass out. And if you don't like it, go make some content on your space and talk about how you don't like being rude and other people's shit. Like they're just really, it's amazing that these Christians come in here talking about morality and they don't even understand basic decency. Have the conversation we're having, or go where somebody's having the conversation that you want to have. I get aggravated with them most of the time. I'd be like, ugh.
Now, I want to say, I think some of these messages, I'm going to go back up and find these messages. These are very disturbing messages. And really, in all honesty, that I totally and completely blame Rion for it. I can't find it. Bomb Poppy says that Bomb Poppy cannot get Jellicle out of their head. And just now it's even like, say Jellicle.
And look what we do.
It
We're
makes
like,
you, every time you do, you got to do the shoulder.
That's
we have
it.
an
makes
inside
you,
joke now, guys.
That's right.
yeah.
It makes me want to show my shoulder a little bit, you know, like some shoulder action.
$60, Rob Savari, and you can get a signed one for $1K.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to pass. I think I'm going in the Bible industry. I'm going to be selling Trump Bibles, folks.
Do you remember Trump was fined for using his voice publicly to speak out against the people who were in the trial, like his prosecutors and all that, and their families and all that? It was $9,000. Yeah, well, I think he got fined like $9,000 once for each time that he did something. It was some kind of fine he did. Anyway, this fine that he incurred during this trial for all the horrific things he did was paid off by one guy buying a pair of gold shoes for $9,000.
Man.
You know, so it's crazy. It's crazy. Throne of David, which is his messenger, says, I need to know how reasonable moderators are here. No, you don't.
Nope, you don't.
Here's the deal, man. If his messenger would stay on point, his messenger would still be in the chat. We kind of had that conversation, and you need to, if you're going to play along. Really,
He said, "Well, I guess not reasonable." No, just kidding.
No, he's not wrong.
He said, he found out.
I mean, it's like, and one day, I mean, again, we actually have the same problem with Master Pastor here, Master Maverick. You know, he's not here. I mean, just we'll figure that out too. New hat, different head. So what I am going to do, I don't know. The Throne of David, I don't know what he did wrong this morning. I haven't looked. I wasn't keeping up. Normally, whenever his messenger speaks, I don't pay attention because he doesn't speak to what's relative to the show. The other day, I did mention to my moderators, I asked them specifically, listen, if the guy can't at least follow what's going on in the show, which is very distinctly what's happening with Master now. Yep. He has no concern with what's going on in the show. He's arguing exclusively with people in the chat. Is he watching? I don't know. But this whole thing with his messenger just gets old, and we're kind of done with it. We're over it. That's what happened. And the same thing with you. Why am I even talking to you about this? Because, right? So, I'm just saying. Sometimes you just gotta say the shit.
They love you, Chris.
Some of them don't.
Yep.
Sure one day I'm gonna get my ass kicked in a parking lot. Yeah. Let's see. Master Maverick. Yeah. Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when Oh man, I'm just so done and over you. Love you. Bye-bye, Master.
Yay.
I'm just done. I just think there's another issue we're having in our Discord that I need to get on and get that taken care of probably today too. Another situation where circumstances need to change. Nothing related to you guys though, so none of just in my brain at the moment. Let's see here. I think no, it's not Sapphic Hazard. Not yet. Keep your clothes on though. That's okay. Don't do that. Here we go. Let me find out my thing here. Poll from the Daily. Let me check the poll real quick, guys, and see if God had a therapist. Wow, 52 votes. Number one, I might have extreme anger issues is leading the poll with 40%. Yes, you wonderful people. Thank you all for that. Every morning I kind of giggle while I make those polls. Oh well. Anyway, all right, guys. Let me read the fan chat here, or the super chat.
Fan chat
today. Fan funding. For Raven, $10 from Raven Lunatic said, an idea for a channel introductory video. Each of your puppies with a moving animated mouth talking on camera about their jobs and what the morning show is. Getting ready to start a show with you. Yes, that's a great idea. I'm not against that. We have things coming. For 10 Polish Polish Zlotys. Adam says we are all generative pre-trained transformers.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Than meets the eye. Skeptics and Scoundrels, $2 said Paul was basically Hans Landa. And Joseph Smith, probably not as charismatic either, I would guess. But anyway, thank you for the super chat. Left-handed Jedi for $2 says Jesus was gay. Didn't he say, "Get behind me, Satan"? You got my back? Kiss my neck right here while you're back there. Left-handed Jedi for $2 said, Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek." Wink, wink. Thank you for that. For $5, Left-handed Jedi says, Father Flanagan's God Away. Spray the God away with fresh minty scent. I was thinking it was going to be more of a musky scent because it's like a menstrual hemoglobin. Yes, there you go. Fermunda. Left-handed Jedi for $5 says, guess what Thor has that the Bible doesn't have? A day of the week named after him. Who is more important? That's right. And he's got a hammer. Raven Lunatic for $5. Thank you, Raven. Said, did you hear about the noodle? It was suffering from imposter syndrome. I gotta learn to heart these things, man. I gotta get some hearts here. That was good. There we go. Heart. I'm getting my heart on for you. All you people. Raven Lunatic for $5 says, did you hear about Nancy from the Freddy movie? She suffered from the Dunning-Kruger effect. That's
yes.
Right. And I really do appreciate how Darante mentions that they are so closely related.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so many people out there don't know what the hell they're talking about. A few of them realize it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the difference. You know, that's at least it is with me. So there are our super chats. I'm going to say bye to you guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun.
Great day.
Y'all are, yeah, man, it's so much fun. I've got lots of writing to do. I've got room to clean up. I've got plans. I've got evil plans of doom and despair coming soon. You have a wonderful day. Friends out there, thank you very much for joining us today and spending your time with us. Sin safely, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow for Hump Day, the day of humps.
Yay.
Bye.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Confession booth busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goat's the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the goat candle, don't even think.